Welcome to a thing. We are back. We are gaming. We are doing stuff in Pokemon Black 2 version. Give me a second while I get settled in. There we go. We are back with more of the Pokemons. Just as a heads up, we'll not be streaming tomorrow because I would like to actually watch Supercross. I wanted to do it last week and then ended up staying super late working on a job and didn't get to. This week, for sure, I will be watching Supercross. So that's why I streamed yesterday instead of tomorrow. But other than that, a lot of stuff that we can do. I still am kind of trying to decide what order I want to do stuff in. There's stuff to the south still that we need to do. East and west, there's stuff we can do. There's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of things. There's a lot that we can do at this point in the game. But anyway, with all that in mind, what we should do first is go over here and grab this item. This is the dropped item. This is going to lead us on a bit of a side quest. This is going to take us on a bit of an adventure. We're gonna have a bit of a side quest with Kristoff here. While I'm here, there are hidden items, including the incredibly rare trash can item. Not very often you actually find an item in the trash can. And a Parliz heal. The gym in this town is electric type, so that is going to be helpful for us. Speaking of that, I picked up Dig last stream. And we should probably see who can learn it. Mai and Skidmark both can. Mai might actually be good for that. Because she is quite bulky. I think I want to get rid of Swagger as well. It's not a bad move, I just don't think I'm personally going to use it. Don't think it's going to be helpful for me personally. So now that we have the dropped item, I think the next stop is going to be Route 5. Because there's some good stuff here. Bianca's got stuff for us, including HMO2 Fly. That's great, lets us fly back to any town. Makes it way easier to backtrack. This is a hidden grotto. You can find unique items here, and you can find Pokemon. These Pokemon will have their hidden abilities. This Minccino has Skill Link, which is an ability that makes it so that any multi-hit moves will always hit the maximum number of times. It can learn Tail Slap, a normal type move that can hit 2 to 5 times. It can learn Rock Blast, a rock type move that can hit 2 to 5 times. Bullet Seed, a grass type move that can hit 2 to 5 times. Skill Link is pretty good. It can break Sturdy. Sturdy only works when the hit takes it from full HP to 1 HP. This will break that. It'll break Focus Sash, which is an item that does the same thing. Each hit has an independent crit chance. Each hit has an independent chance if you give it an item like King's Rock that will give the chance to make it flinch. Basically, really good ability. I'm not going to use it, but if you want to use the Minccino line, this is probably the one you want. This is probably the one you're going to want to catch. Double Slap. Not a very good example, but it is going to hit 5 times. Got the cute charm. It's extremely rare that you find a Pokemon here. But it is an interesting way to try and get a unique Pokemon. And then the Hidden Grottos refill if you take like a certain number of steps. I don't remember exactly how many. She will give you random berries. I don't think they're entirely random. It's like a specific class of berry. Once a day, she'll sell you a set of 5 berries for 200 bucks. The Kelpsy Berry makes Pokemon more friendly, but also lowers its base attack stat. You might be wondering, why would I want that? That is where effort values come in. Basically, every time you knock out a Pokemon, every time you gain experience, you get effort values based on the Pokemon that you knocked out to get that experience. This is a way to reduce effort values you don't want. Which, because you have a cap total of 510 on a Pokemon, that could be useful if you want to train a Pokemon a specific way. This house, we're just hitting stuff rapid fire. Remember those TMs? They were really expensive. Like a couple of them were 30 grand. We only have 20,000. How are you going to get enough money for that? This lady will buy your food items. Usually for more than they are worth. Those Castelia cones that we bought them for 100 each. She will give you $2,000 for them. You have to sell them one at a time. But that is a fantastic way to make money. That's why I say always buy a dozen of these every opportunity you have. Because this is a fantastic way to make money. I don't know that it's strictly the best way, but it is probably the easiest way. So I'm just going to sell a handful of these. And so if you just sell your Castelia cones to her, she will buy them for an exorbitant price. Over here to the east, while we're still hitting topics. This guy will give you the Macho Brace. Remember those effort values I was telling you about? This will double them. In exchange for decreasing the speed of the Pokemon holding it. So if you're looking to train up a Pokemon, it's an option. So that dropped item, Kristoff will call you at extremely specific tiles in the overworld. This is one of them here. Over on, what is this, Route 16? Yeah. So that's one of them there. I feel like there's one in Nimbasa, but don't quote me on that. For sure there's one on Route 5. Right here. So that's two of them really close together. Also, there's a Hyper Potion hiding out over here. Pretty cool. I feel like there's a spot over by the Audino balloon. I don't remember for certain, but I feel like that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong. Apparently, I am wrong. Alright, never mind. I guess it's just the two on the routes. To the south, we have the Desert Resort. There's lots of trainers there. There's lots of Pokemon we can catch there. I don't think I'm going to do that right now, but that's a pretty good training spot for the upcoming gym. Hint medals. Can I take the trainers around here? First things first, I should probably pick up the prop case from the musical. Sure, we'll dress up Mai. Let's see, what can we do here? That there. Give you like microphone. Let's get a second bow going here actually. Sure. And he's gone. If we leave and come back, something kind of special happens. Just kidding. Ooh, echoed voice. That's a move that we have now. Does more damage if it's used consecutively. I'm not particularly interested in this place. Musical is... There's a lot of really cool side activities they put in this game. The musical is not one of them. The musical is not one. Can we take on Route 16 now? We're faster than Drillbur. That's interesting. She is pretty fast. That is like basically the only speed or the only stat that she has that's like actually workable. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. And she is also a fully evolved Pokemon. Having a Pokemon that's like fully evolved, very valuable early game. Tranquil. I want to make sure Mai and Skidmark get some experience, because they are going to be my primary options against the gym. Not the roost, bro. Okay, we got the cute charm. That could be valuable. That could prevent it from attacking. Don't use detect, man. We can get a crit here, that would be great. Okay. There we go. That was kind of annoying. Jump kick. That's a really good move. 100 power. Fighting type. If it misses, you take... I think for jump kick, you take a quarter of your HP and damage. For high jump kick, which is basically the upgraded version, it's like half. Pretty brutal, but it is a very strong move. Do I take on these guys? Sure. Why not? They both have Scraggy. Unfortunate. Deeply tragic. We can try out jump kick, I guess. Does not one shot. Thank you, reduced attack stat. Hope we're not speed tied. What? Oh no. I cannot believe that quick attack didn't KO. Alright, Lillipup, I'm gonna give you some experience so that you pick up better items. No, you don't need any moves. Unfortunate. The natures on Skidmark and Mai are going to be a bit of a hindrance, I think. We're gonna have a bit of a hard time with those two. One thing that I should do is teach strength to my Azurill. Just kidding, it can't learn it. I guess we're gonna move the experience share to Azurill so that it levels up. Nice full heal. Do you also have a Tranquil? That would make sense. No, you have a Whirlipede. Interesting. Let's try out Dig. See how good Dig is. Not very. Alright, it's up to you, Broham. Not enough for the KO. This team is just missing KOs left and right. The AI should not be allowed to use Protect. Should just not be in the game. Yeah, you don't really need moves. I'm just gonna teach you HMs. Charm, actually a very good move if you're struggling. Reduces the opponent's attack stat by 2 stages. Status moves like Charm, definitely underappreciated in single-player Pokemon. If you're struggling, that's definitely a great way to potentially get yourself out of trouble. Alright, now can you learn Strength? I don't think I need to get it all the way up to Azumarill, but I will anyway. Because Azumarill's sweet. This guy. Vending machine gave me an extra drink for free. So he gives you a free freshwater. And also tells you that the vending machines can sometimes give you 2 drinks instead of just 1. Gonna stock up on a few fresh waters. And probably a few soda pops as well. Now that we have an easy way to make tons of money. I believe the food lady will buy this stuff at the vending machine prices. So if you happen to get some for free, I guess you can sell it to her, but it's not really an efficient way of making money. Anyway, there is a roadblock in here, so we cannot go any further. The elevator doesn't work. So we'll have to revisit that later. But now that we have strength, we can move this rock. Which is pretty cool. There's a bunch of dark grass here, as well as this trainer. Backpacker Blossom. You can't even one-shot a Lightbird. What a disappointment of a Pokemon. We are faster than the Lightbird, which is kind of rare. No, you don't need to learn Bubble Beam. We're gonna teach you Surf and Waterfall. That's what's gonna happen, and you're gonna have to deal with it, bud. There's a tiny mushroom. That's another item that you can sell to the food lady for more than you would get if you sold it to a Pokemon Center. TM for payback. I have a second chance to teach payback to Scraggy. Do I have Cut with me? No, I do not. Tragic. Well, I don't need strength anymore, so I guess I can go back and get my stupid rat. Vending Virtuoso. Where is that stupid rat? There he is. I should grab my experience share back. fight this guy. These trainers that spin around and face different directions, by the way, they will look at you if you are running past them. So potentially you may want to not run when you are trying to get by those guys. Did I go to the Pokemon Center and not heal? Oh, nice crit. And there's just a free heal ball. Not the most exciting item, but it's something. Whoops, I did not mean to fight you. Here's another Pokemon breeder. In case you want an infinitely refightable trainer to infinitely refight. Do you have super luck? Potentially. Possibly. And we can get Skidmark a little experience because technically he is now the lowest level on my team. Not the fake out. I mean, as if Lightbird was gonna ever do anything other than use fake out. Nice crit. Here's an Ultra Ball, if you want an Ultra Ball. Pretty useful, pretty handy. Another spot where you can run into Cottony. Gonna pop fresh water. That lump over there is a trainer. I will fight them in a moment. Up here, we have our second hidden grotto. This is a mulch. Just kidding, it's a blue shard. Could do worse than that. This guy. You know a Pokemon called Zoroark? I do. He gives you the TM for Snarl. Fun fact, this is a TM that was locked behind an event in the original Black and White that was never released. So you could not get the TM for Snarl back in the original Black and White. And so now here you can get it. A dark type move that lowers the opponent's special attack. I have seen it used in competitive, so good move. Lowering your opponent's stats is second only to raising your own stats, so makes sense. Oh my goodness, it's a Zoroark. Wow, I never would have guessed that that guy was actually a Zoroark. Leaf Stone. I was gonna say if you want to evolve your Eevee into a Leafeon, but that's actually not correct. There's a hidden item up on this ledge that we cannot get to. Because, first of all, there's the water in the way. But second of all, there is a waterfall in the way. So, cannot get... Oh, right, because I went to the stupid hidden grotto. I technically left the area and came back. Well, time to fight the Pokemon breeder again. You're gonna fake out again. I knew it. Oh, but the cute charm. You're so charming. Why? I mean, this is pretty good experience. You don't need Baton Pass. We'll pass on any stat changes that you have to the next Pokemon. Once again, something that sees more use in competitive than anywhere else. There is in the options, the option to play the game on set battle style. Oops. Basically shift tells you what is coming out next and lets you switch in between after a knockout. Set does not give you that option. So if you want a challenge, you can play on set, and then Baton Pass is actually good there because it gives you a way to switch out pretty easily. All right, what do you have? On Ranger Serenity. A Trubbish. Well, guys, I think it's time to take out the trash. Please laugh. You're gonna swallow, aren't you? Yep, I knew it. Oh, it just knocked itself out with takedown. Love to see it. And the unique thing about Rangers is that when you beat them, they give you berries. In this area, they give you Pecha Berries. I believe basically all the Rangers in a particular area will give you the same berry. Pokemon Ranger Forest. Well, this is a good time to test out my plan for Emolga, which is to cry. Somehow didn't get staticked. Huge. No, I was wrong. This guy gives you a cherry berry. Well, that's everyone here for now. That is basically everything there is to do on Route 16. We can probably take on those guys that I've been ignoring in front of the train station. Heavy Walker. And Battle Teacher. Interesting. We're just slowly collecting those medals. So this kid is Nate, and he wants me to help him take on the subway bosses. You may notice that he is the player character if you were to pick the boy. If you were to pick the boy, you would end up with the female player character as your partner here. Facing down a girder is a little bit scary. Thank you for targeting the girder. Thank you for not targeting my Lopunny. Okay, we're good. No problem. Now we have to figure out how to deal with a +4 defense Boldor. Yeah, this is gonna be a problem, unless you use a special attack. Nice. Easy. And then he gives you the Versus Recorder, which lets you record multiplayer battles and battles in battle facilities. Speaking of battle facilities, welcome to Gear Station. This is the home of the Battle Subway, which is one of this game's battle facilities. Basically, hop on a train and do a bunch of battles. Also, there is this train to Anvil Town. You talk to this girl. She is missing a pan sage. This girl just plays the flute. Pretty cool. This guy will talk to you about trains. This is the multi-train. If you come here on the weekends, there are people who will trade stuff with you. So you can sometimes get cool items. And then this guy will give you rare candies. He gives you one for free here. He'll give you more if you do the Battle Subway. Rare candies, pretty good items, so something to consider, something to ponder. Alright, well now that we've talked to that one girl, if we go outside, something will have changed in the city. This guy is standing here with a pan sage. This is the lost pan sage. He will take it back to Anvil Town. And so now if we go back to Anvil Town again, something will have changed. Now she has been reunited with her pan sage, and she will give you a bright powder. This reduces the accuracy of opponents' moves on you. I believe it reduces it by 10%. So like 100% accurate move will become 90% and so on. Fun option. Something to consider. I'm actually going to go ahead and give that to my Lopunny. Just for fun. Although the wide lens is actually not a bad idea. I think it buffs high jump kick from 95 to like 99% accuracy. So that's something to consider. Maybe worth it if I can get high jump kick, but I don't think it's worth it for just jump kick. Something to try out though. We should have 2 visitors in Joint Avenue now that it's been a day. Aha! Yes. You can go ahead and move here. Flower shop called Floris Ainiki. Ainiki? We have a flower shop. Connect unique items and surprise everyone. Antique shop called Julio's Antiques. So the flower shop. First of all, you can buy berries, but second of all, you can buy mulch. You want to do this. Chunk, C rank, and a super big box. These are basically just gacha rolls for items. Sometimes you'll find shards, most of the time you'll find hard stones. I got really lucky. I got a green shard and a tiny mushroom. You can do those once per day. As you level them up, they will get more items. So that is useful. Once again, that tiny mushroom, you can sell it to the food maniac and she will buy it for a really good price. Higher than what you would get from a Pokémon. Do you two have anything interesting to say? No. There is this nurse here. Yeah, we'll lead with my. Nurse Mariah has a Cleffa. I guess I should have led with Skidmark. Oh well. Too late now. The nice things about doctors and nurses. Once you beat them, they become a healing point. So instead of having to run all the way back to the Pokemon Center, I can just run out to her. Whoops. Didn't really mean to fight you. Let's try using Dig. There we go. And here, I think everyone just gives you Rost Berries. Yellow Shard. There are some cool Pokemon here. Like, you can get Maractus here, which is a Pokemon that I've used once before. It's kind of fun. One of those Pokemon that you, like, never really hear people talking about. But it's, like, kind of cool Pokemon. In here, we have the Relic Castle. There are two things I've learned about quicksand. If you try to walk through the middle, you'll fall. And if you try to run through it, you'll fall. So you have to walk through this. Do not touch the Biba. And if you do what I just did, you go down to this bottom floor, where there is a hidden item right here. It's a heart scale. Item that is going to be useful to us in the somewhat near future. Also some cool Pokemon that you can catch in here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but definitely some cool options. Alright, let's not do what I just... Dang it! Alright, I forgot that you can't run through this. It's a Yamask. This is one of those interesting Pokemon I mentioned. Will it survive a feint attack? No. Well, not if it's a crit. Okay. Don't run through the quicksand. You don't have a very big field of view, bud. Psychic Parry with his Sigilif. Another one of those cool Pokemon that I mentioned that you can catch here. Really versatile move pool Sigilif has. And very bulky. I need to switch out. Yeah, Mai takes that much better. I should top off my HP. Antidote. I mean, could potentially be useful. What do you have? Would you have a Yamask? No, she just has Gothita. Gothita, I believe, is the version exclusive of Black 2, and White 2 has Solosis. I think. Those two are version exclusives. I just don't remember which one is for which game. And we get Rock Tomb. Pretty good rock type move, lower your opponent's speed. That's the best rock move we're gonna have for a while, so yeah. Psychic Tommy. That is not the name that I would expect a psychic to have. It's not a very psychic-like name. Get that Moxie going. And you have a Yamask. Can you one-shot a Yamask? Yes, you can. Level 26. Oh. It's right there. A ground gem. These were Z moves before Z moves existed. Red shard. What do you have? Sand Isle. I should be able to take a Sand Isle. Unless it intimidates me. Unless it does that. Nope, we're still fine. No, I'll just use the nurse. There's no point in wasting healing items. I will just go back and heal. Right, I already fought you. Show you the harshness of a desert through battle. Wow. Let's try out Skidmark's dig. I don't think we've had him use dig yet. Very nice. Be careful of burns. Yep, he also gives you Raspberry. There's a Stardust here. Can sell that for some good money. The Star Piece can also be sold for some good money. Oh no, you're the one I fought already. I get so lost in here. I forget who I've already fought. What am I gonna do about Sandshrew? I guess just Brick Break? Magnitude 9. First try. Of course. Maractus. I was just talking about you and how you were cool. Will you take a headbutt? Yeah. Not the crit pin missile. Not the 5-hit pin missile. Nice flinch. I wouldn't mind using Maractus again sometime. It's a pretty cool Pokemon. Oh, wait. A wild Sigilif appeared? So, one of the things that changed when we did the Unova link. In various places, you can run into N's Pokemon. If you don't know who N is, don't worry about it. But basically, these are unique Pokemon that you can now catch. They only show up in specific areas. This is one of those areas. Don't make me use my Ultra Ball, man. Don't do this to me, man. Well, once again, do not get to have Ultra Balls because Pokemon keep taking them. But yeah, when you catch it, it says, it seems like the caught Sigilif has a different OT. And you're not able to nickname it. Basically, there's a mechanic in the game, you can only nickname a Pokemon or change the nickname of a Pokemon if you are the trainer that caught it. And so as part of that, you are not able to name N's Pokemon. Once again, if you don't know who that is, don't worry about it. We'll get to it in time. Are you standing on the hidden item? No, okay. No, she was just standing beside it. Another antidote. I feel like the game's trying to tell me something. Trapinch. Another kind of cool Pokemon. How on earth do I catch you? In a Pokeball, apparently. I thought Trapinch was kind of tricky to catch. Red Shard. Did you say a desert is like a giant sandbox? What a weird thing to say. Just missed the KO. Minus attack nature, coming to screw me yet again. I don't really want to run all the way back to the nurse. I'm just gonna use a freshwater. Here's a Max Ether. Useful PP restoring item. Firestone, in case you want a Flareon. I wish Flareon was good. Oh, I haven't fought you yet. I wish every day, every time that I have an Eevee, that Flareon was a good Pokemon. Because I want to use it. I may use it anyway. I may find a reason to use it, but it's like, I know it's not very good, and I wish it was better. I wish it was good. Someday I'll find an excuse to use it in a stream, in a streamed game. But it's just one of those Pokemon. It's like, I know you're not very good, and I wish you were better. See, my backpack is full of sand from the desert. It's my job to dig out the relic castle before it gets completely buried. Dude, I don't think that's the most efficient way to do that. Apparently I already fought you. So we'll fight this Psychic instead. Psychic Future. Remarkable name. Incredible name. I feel like Skidmark has not been like gaining that much experience compared to Lopunny. Chip Away could be interesting because it ignores the target's stat changes. But the flinch chance on Headbutt is just too good. I think I gotta stick with Headbutt. Like, I know that scaled experience is a mechanic in this game. I just kind of thought, it just kind of felt like Mai was getting more experience than Skidmark seems to be. Did I already fight you? No, you just give me a Fun Fest mission. There's a Super Repel hiding in here. Is that everything? Have I fought everyone here? I think I have pretty much cleared out this place. Should be using the bicycle. Alright, I want to clear out Route 5 next. I don't really think I need the levels, but we'll just do it. We'll just get it out of the way. I haven't really been using Broham all that much. He hasn't really had much of an opportunity to fight. You know what? I think he will have an advantage in this fight here. We will let Broham lead this fight. Apparently, you have really bad eyesight. I have to be standing right in front of you for you to challenge me. This is a bit insulting for Broham. Forcing him to fight a Sunkern. The Combee was more what I was thinking of. which is still insulting because it's a male Combi. But an advantage is an advantage. And to be completely honest with you, Broham is not going to be doing a lot of fighting in the gym. There's a hyper potion here. Hum fiercely, my battle song. Battle fiercely, my Pokemon. Calm down, bro. He has a Maractus. Another target for Broham to be able to fight. Much less insulting than the other two things I had him fight. The Mega Drain on an Eviolite fire type. What a play. What a move. Don't think that was the smartest tactical decision you could have made. That was a lot of experience. He gives you the electric guitar prop. He will actually not fight you if you don't have the prop case from the musical. Dancer Brian with his Scraggy. Arm Thrust. I was gonna say Arm Thrust has kind of fallen off, and then it immediately got a crit. Immediately proved me wrong. After watching a football game, we want to get rowdy ourselves. I'm sorry? Excuse me, pardon? Please elaborate. We're apparently slower than a Minccino. We're slower than 2 Minccino. Cute Charm triggering just before the Pokemon faints. Always tragic. Still a better love story than Twilight. All right. Oh, right. This guy's a trainer. Here's a worse Minccino if you want to catch a Minccino that's worse than the one in the Hidden Grotto. That's an option for you. Sigilif. This is unfortunate. This is quite unfortunate. It's fine, he's just going to use Light Screen. And I am just going to use physical attacks. Because that's all this team does. That's all this team knows how to do. a Psybeam. Not like this. We're actually kind of okay thanks to the Eviolite. Roham took that quite well. That said, I probably should top off my HP. Didn't even take a step. Didn't even take a single step. There's an item here. Super Repel. This battle will be electrifying. Will it? You have an Emolga? Is that why you think that? No, you have a Buddy. I really like the Eviolite. Roham's damage is just not quite where I would like it to be, so I kind of feel like I'm gonna need to give him the charcoal at some point. The fact that I'm missing so many easy KOs with Flame Charge. I say as I immediately one-shot a Badu and a Roselia. Why do I speak? Takedown. Do I need a, like, strong normal type move? Not really. And she gives you a Cherry Berry. Apparently there's not any more items back here. Just the dark grass. Alright, that's another route cleared out. So basically, all there is left to do is the gym. That's basically all we have left. We've cleared out everything around Imbasa. Pure Youth. Oh, for catching one of N's Pokemon. I forgot about that. Normally, I just get that later in the story. I don't think well, I've never done this before, because I've never had Univallink before. So yeah, you'll see the OT is N, and the trainer ID is 00002. One of the rare instances where we get to learn the trainer ID of another story trainer. What is Gentle Nature? Plus special defense minus defense. Interesting. So you'll notice that Elisa, the gym leader, is not actually at the gym. She is in the roller coaster building. My Lillipup has an item for me. Another antidote. What is with all of the antidotes? So if you played the original Black and White, you will be very familiar with this gym puzzle. You hop onto the roller coaster, ride it around, hit the switches to change where the track goes. I played these games out of order. I played White 2 first. So, yeah. Ooh, this is a really good place to set the amulet coin on whatever you're leading with. Because everyone here gives you a ton of money. Really good way to get money. But if you miss your chance, then you don't get another shot at this. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Let's give the amulet coin. It's just free money, so you might as well. Yeah, Flaffy. Can we one-shot a Flaffy? This is kind of the litmus test for my... No! And you get staticked! But it's gonna use takedown. We're fine. So yeah, the rich boys, the ladies, the gentlemen, and the socialites all give a ton of money. So definitely worth having something with the amulet coin when you fight them. And the gym leader's gone, so we get a paralyze heal. Alright, well, that pointless little side quest is out of the way. Let's go back and heal. Can anything on my team learn Rock Tomb, actually? That could be an Emolga strategy. That could be a way to deal with that. You know what? Maybe we will actually use Broham in this fight. I did heal, right? Forgot to heal. Every time. Every time. What are the odds I can outspeed an Emolga? I don't know, and I'm curious to find out. Because Emolga is fast, Lopunny is also pretty fast. Music in this gym is great. Beauty Nicola with her Elekid. Am I faster than an Elekid? That is the question of the hour. I am. That shouldn't be surprising. That should not be a surprise. And we can one-shot Elekid pretty easily. We cannot one-shot Flappy. We know that. But we'll just dig anyway. Because, like, what else are we gonna do? Ew! That did less damage than I was expecting. Did even less damage than I was expecting it to. Does return KO from here? Not the paralysis man! Not the double paralysis man! There we go. Remarkable. Incredible. Imagine actually getting to use a move. Couldn't be me. I'm still holding the amulet card. I'm gonna give you the bright powder back. And then we need to fix that paralysis. I have paralyze heals now. Huge. I'm gonna give you a protein too, because Lord knows you need it. Lord knows my Lopunny needs every bit of help it can get. Are you beautiful as a trainer? Surprise me. Beauty Fleming. Bright powder with takedown is nice, because takedown already can miss. Not the static man. Alright, Skidmark, how can you handle a Blizzle? What can you do against this electric zebra? Should not have used Brick Break. Was not what I meant to hit. Apparently that's a one-shot. Okay. You know what? Sure. That worked out. show is coming to its finale. Now I'll see if you are worthy to stand on the same stage as Elisa. Beauty Ampere. Leads with a Blitzel. Can take that thing pretty easily. My desperately needs this experience, so we'll let her stay in. Light screen, that's fine. That's okay. I am fine with light screen. Did not get to level 30. Unfortunate. As much as I would love to stay here and listen to this music, I need to go heal. The music in Unova is just so on point. It's so good. I don't know that any individual track is the best in the franchise, but it's like consistently high quality. I think it's the best consistency of any Pokemon game. Alright, who do I lead with? Do I just lead with Mai? To see if I can outspeed? I think I do. I think that's the play. It is time for our 4th gym challenge against Elisa, who leads with her Emolga. This thing can double team. Gen 5 players universally are scarred by the fact that Emolga is just annoying. It's fast, it spams double team, and then you just can't hit it. Oh yeah, and it has static. Switching into Flaffy. And Flaffy just immediately switching out again. Back to the Emolga. Not the paralysis, man. Not like this. Stop using Volt Switch. Stop. Stop it. How much does return do? Not quite half. Is she just gonna spam Volt Switch forever? Is that just what's happening? Castelia Cone away the paralysis. Okay. If we can outspeed Flaffy, which I think we can break the cycle. Okay, we're faster. We can break the Volt Switch cycle. Assuming that this KOs. It does. Sweet. I think we have to stay in against Emolga. We can't outspeed it. Return will KO. I think we have to do it. Of course, I don't get static on the turn where it doesn't matter. Is Lopunny faster than Zebstrika? Let's find out. Surely not. Yeah, Zebstrika is faster. But Lopunny, pretty bulky. Pretty defensive Pokemon. Okay, I kind of don't want to get her into heal range, so I'm going to quick attack. Volt Switch will probably KO. That's fine. I think Skidmark can take a move from this thing. Because there is no shot Skidmark outspeeds. If Lopunny could not, Skidmark absolutely cannot. But if we can take this Volt Switch, which we do a little closer than I would have liked, but I think big KOs. It doesn't! It didn't KO. I was trying to avoid the heal. We should be able to still take this Volt Switch. This should be fine. Just kidding. It was a damage range. Alright, Broham. Good luck. It's really a shame that you don't learn Dig. So we'll see how much Flame Charge does. Not as much as I would like. It might still KO. It'll be close. But it might. The crit! No! Okay, we're fine. Flame Charge did, in fact, KO. There was no reason for that fight to be as close as it was. But it's fine. We get the Bolt badge. And we get the TM for Volt Switch. Again, if you're playing using set mode instead of switch, great way to get some damage in and switch out. Alright, well, on that note, I think that is where I'm going to go ahead and call it. We only got one badge, but we did clear a lot of content today. Trust. But anyway, I appreciate everyone who stopped by and hung out as ever. Thank you very much. And I will catch you in the next one.